All right, this week on our Codec conversation, we are talking about not ours, but Game Informer's podcast. So they recently just had a podcast where they hosted each and every one of the voice actors for Metal Gear Solid 1. Some of them weren't there, like Ocelot, but it was a phenomenal podcast. It featured David Hayter. It had Christopher Randolph, who played Otacon. Liquid was there. It was a lot of the cast members, and it was really, really well done. I enjoyed it very, very much. It gave insight into how Metal Gear Solid 1 was the first cinematic game where it like really translated as like a movie, as an entertainment set piece. I mentioned this before, where I felt like Metal Gear Solid 1 was the original for those set pieces of creating cinematics in video games. It's obviously an opinion and stuff, but there's a lot of people that share that same opinion with me, and it's good to see that the voice actors are getting the fame as well, because part of that was because of the voice acting in Metal Gear Solid 1. It translated so well into the video game as a film that I remember playing Metal Gear Solid 1 and thinking like, wow, this is an amazing game. Like, how is this not a movie? So Chris Zimmerman, who is the voice director for all the Metal Gear Solid games, she's been doing it since Metal Gear Solid 1. She's done it for every single one. And she was on the show. She was pretty much kind of like the main voice of the show and stuff. I have some notes here. So it was hosted by Ben Henson and Tim Turry. They're from Game Informer, and they had like a panel, I guess, some sorts. It featured some voices that we all love, and they're well known. So David Hayter, who plays Snake, Cam Clark, who plays Liquid Snake, Debbie Mae West, who plays Meryl, Christopher Randolph, who we all know plays Otacon, and Paul Edding, who plays Roy Campbell. They also had Peter Lurie, who plays Vulcan Raven as well. What did you think about the podcast?
I thought it was a time of nostalgia, at least for me, and I'm sure for them as well. All those characters getting together. I heard this growing up. I heard these people. Metal Gear Solid 1, Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3, Metal Gear Solid 4. Like, through all of these, man, it was exciting to hear that they could get together and they still sound like they're friends. Yeah. They're co-workers.
Well, I don't think they were together in the same room. But,
no, of course. Yeah. But what I'm saying is like they kind of like they spoke to one another too. Yeah. During the podcast. And it was great to just see the chemistry even there. Yeah. And just hearing stories from people like David Hayter and just like that they would be in like one room kind of doing this thing. It wasn't a state of the art studio kind of a thing. It was just like this rundown.
It was a house. It was like rundown. Their break room was the kitchen.
Like a rundown kitchen.
Yeah.
And man, just to hear how they felt, how they we usually just see the ending product. Yeah. We've read in many places that the voice acting was phenomenal and it brought forth the beginning of cinematic, gaming and stuff like that. And it's like, but what about the characters themselves, the people behind the voices? Yeah. And their work. I thought it was really, really well done on Game Informer's part. I think they interviewed well.
Yeah, it was really well done. I enjoyed the nostalgia part of it, of course, because they played like clips of the game and stuff while like they were introducing the characters, and also
while they actually did the voices.
They
did it themselves, right?
Yeah, it was really good. It was very well done.
Questions.
Oh yeah, that was we'll get into that one, but I want to start with Christopher Randolph, dude. That guy doesn't need to sound. He doesn't need to mask his voice at all.
I thought I was speaking with Otacon.
Seriously,
on a codec.
I thought I was in the codec conversation.
Get it?
Yeah.
Because I was listening to it on my headphones, and like while it was ringing in my head, I'm like, what the heck? Like Huey doesn't need to cover his voice at all.
Hal.
Well, Hal and Huey.
Yeah.
He's Huey now, but what's funny about Christopher Randolph is that he auditioned for the voice of Snake.
It's crazy. Who would have thought that he would have been the voice of Snake?
Right, Angel?
Look, in my opinion, Christopher Randolph, he, no harm intended or anything like that, but like, he sounds like a nerd, Yeah. He sounds perfect for the role.
I can't imagine him as anyone else in Metal Gear but Otacon.
Yeah.
I think if I heard him in another game, I don't like to waste bullets.
Shoot, rookie.
What are you doing? Shoot. It's like
Yeah.
It's just like I couldn't imagine him. If I hear him, I don't know if I said it already, but I'm gonna say it again because maybe you cut me off. But if I hear him, Christopher Randolph, in another game, I'm just gonna be like, that's Otacon. Why is Otacon in Crash Bandicoot?
Crash Bandicoot, yeah. Dude, seriously, he sounded just like him. Everyone else, they have a certain like genuine to their voice and stuff. But with Christopher Randolph, man, like, you didn't need to do anything. You didn't need to strain your voice or anything.
He just talks.
He just talks, like, seriously. Someone who I found who's very, very talented is Paul Edding, who he plays the voice of Campbell.
Yes.
Man, he is fantastic. Like, he can mask. His voice sounds nothing like Roy Campbell. It's crazy. He was just like, I usually sound like this and stuff, so I had to mask myself and Snake. It was very good. Very, very good job.
Excellent, Snake.
Yeah.
Ace hasn't slowed you down one bit.
So I know you like this game a lot because you can really recite like almost any line in Metal Gear Solid 1. So I know you enjoyed it a lot, like hearing them say the stuff and whatnot.
Yeah, it really brought me back.
Yeah, lots of insights, lots of tidbits. We know Chris Zimmerman was once married to the voice of Ocelot, who is played by, I got you right now, Patrick Zimmerman.
Zimmerman.
Yeah,
there you go.
There it is. Still has
Chris
the last
Zimmerman,
name.
Zimmerman.
So we found that out, which is probably just a small part. He wasn't on the podcast, but we also found out that for any little thing that they had to do, any little change in the words or anything, because it's hard when how they get it is the Japanese version comes out first, right? They're already done. They have in-house studios in Japan, and then they send it to America where they have to do the English voiceovers. So all you could see is just probably like their face going blah, blah, and their mouth opening, left and right and stuff. So you have to mask it to like the way they're moving, just to do those overdubs. So David Hayter in the podcast, he said that he wanted to change some words like, hey, what do you think about this and stuff? Had to go through like 1,000,001 people.
You would have to wait 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And usually they would say no.
Yeah.
If you're listening, Heido's doing his Japanese impersonation, which always starts with a
and then that translates to no.
No.
Pretty much.
Yeah. They give like 3 sentences and that's just a no.
Right.
David Hayter would be like, hey, can I say it like this? I think it would sound cooler or something like that. And they would be like, yeah, let's go check. 15 minutes later. No.
So, I mean, and some of the stuff like she wanted to change like the bromance in the ending of Metal Gear Solid 1. If you
let Meryl die. Yeah. The ending with Otacon and Snake together. I thought it made it look kind of weird. They felt like it would look kind of weird.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so she was like, yeah, can we change it? And because in the Japanese version, it was like that
set
kind of
bromance.
It was bromance.
Yeah.
At that moment. I guess because she saw Snake as like this macho kind of guy. Like you would expect that from Huey or Hal, but not from Snake kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But that's how they decided to do it.
Yeah. Christopher Randolph, they asked him what scene you get most requested to say, and it's the one where he's with this Love Bloom in the battlefield.
Love bloom in the battlefield.
So the one, with Sniper Wolf, like he always is a real fan of that scene, which is really well done. Like when I was listening to it back again, the music and everything, like the snow falling, man, that was such an epic scene. Everyone in that scene just did a stellar job.
Yep.
Yeah.
Although it was just two of them, really.
Yeah, of course. But even though Snake was like kind of like, he just killed her. Like, well, she was.
Well, he put her out.
Yeah, he put her out. Yeah, because she was dying.
Yeah.
So, and then the wolves coming in and stuff. Like, it was just like, it was really, really well done.
It did set up the whole cinematic kind of perspective in it.
Yeah.
And
like Chris Zimmerman said, she said that you have to allow the actor to go into that place. You have to allow them to get emotional.
You need to give them the space kind of a thing. And Christopher Randolph did a good job because he had to do the crying and stuff like that.
And it's his first voiceover work.
Really?
He said, it's his first voiceover work. So he's like, man, like, I'll do it. Sure. An interesting character that I think we all enjoyed. The person who plays Liquid Snake, who is Cam Clark. He is a character.
Yeah.
He's hilarious. They showed the he heard the podcast in the podcast. They put like one of his scenes, something brother, and he's like, man, that guy is awesome. We should get him on the podcast. Which is funny. And then they also had him say, do you like my sunglasses? Which is, I know, Angel's favorite dialogue in Metal Gear Solid.
The reason we're saying Angel twice, we said it twice already. He is in the studio with us.
He's in the studio here with us.
He's just behind the camera.
Unofficial cameraman.
I'm looking at him, and he's just, I don't know what to think of how he's sitting. He's moving around. Don't move the camera.
Look, so it was a very interesting podcast. I think what we all got from it was nostalgia, of course, and some insight as to how they were. But
We've got some major insight.
Major insight.
We got, and it pertains, I'm sorry I cut you off.
Sorry.
And it pertains to our last episode. I'm sorry?
Happens all the time.
Jerk.
Yeah.
And it pertains to our last episode.
Yeah.
Where we discussed, does Konami deserve another chance?
Yeah.
If you haven't heard it, go ahead, hear episode 18.
Episode 19.
Episode 19. Sorry.
It's okay.
Episode 19 on our YouTube channel, or on Podomatic or on iTunes, wherever you get it. And let us know what you think at UCB Podcast. But
David Hayter, as we said in the CB News, he was not going to be the original voice for Solid Snake. Hideo Kojima. We want to get that
not
very clear.
Konami.
He wanted Kurt Russell to play Solid Snake, or Naked Snake in that sense. But I think he wanted a big budget movie character to portray his Solid Snake. In my opinion, over these past years, I thought Solid Snake and Hideo Kojima were like bros. Like
David Hayter.
David Hayter were like bros. Like, whoa, like
this is my rock star.
This is the guy. I think, like David Hayter put it, he didn't like that David Hayter was getting all the attention. Everyone was going up to him, asking him the questions and stuff. Hideo Kojima's a prideful man. You can tell.
We're learning this. Yeah.
Yeah. And he didn't like that David Hayter was getting the attention. Maybe he didn't like it, as David Hayter put it.
I mean, would that really... Because if you put a big action star like Kurt Russell, it would make no sense, because then he would be getting more attention.
Exactly. I think Hideo Kojima just wanted his game to be big budget, big game with all these main actors and stuff. Like, look at Kiefer Sutherland. He's in the game.
Yeah.
So insight about that, David Hayter didn't even know that he was being X'd out of the next Metal Gear. Supposedly, he went to an event, and a Metal Gear worker that was there met up with him and stuff. They were there, and he's like, hey, so just let me know when you want me to go in for some VO. I'm ready to go for the next Metal Gear. So, Metal Gear Solid 5 and stuff. And he said, yeah, I don't think we'll be needing you this time. So
I think we're going to go in a different direction. I think that was his.
Yeah, we're going to go into a different direction. Right. Yeah.
For Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah. Never got a word that, hey, from Kojima himself or nobody saying, hey, you're not going to be the voice here. It's kind of whack when you're like, you've been the voice of Metal Gear, like every time someone tries, any YouTube parody online is trying to mask David Hayter's voice.
I mean, it's the only voice we've had.
It's the only one we've had.
Except for that one. I forgot who the voice actor was. He did it on whatever that monkey game was.
Ape Escape?
Ape Escape, yeah. There was a segment with Snake in it.
Yeah, it was a different voice actor, yes.
Yeah. We'll get into that. But, but what was even crazier was what he mentioned before, that he had to re-audition for the future Metal Gears.
Every single Metal Gear he had to re-audition.
He had to re-audition for, Metal Gear Solid 3 and Metal Gear Solid 4 as Old Snake. And it was just like, he went into depth saying that there were a lot of times where they would try to find someone to match his voice. Yeah. And so you've got to ask yourself, is this more than just an attention thing on part of Kojima?
Mm-hmm.
Or was it something more personal? I don't understand. If someone's doing a great job at it, why would you want to replace him?
Right.
And so, we spoke on the last podcast saying like, we don't know what the truth is, if Konami's all to blame, if Kojima has some blame, we don't know where to place it. But it doesn't seem like in my fair and honest opinion, that Kojima was a team player in a lot of things, and he made a lot of people upset.
Yeah, for sure.
Unreasonably upset that would be. And we're out here. All we see is that Konami kicked out Kojima. That's all we see.
Yeah, right.
But by David Hayter's confession, as we see as this iconic voice for Solid Snake and Big Boss in the beginning, it's just like, man, you didn't treat some of your people well.
Yeah.
Like downright unprofessional.
Yeah. Like, man, if I were to work with someone that has been so influential in my games, like nobody knows who the Japanese actor is. Even in Japan, they know who David Hayter is. Like they relate more to the American Solid Snake and Naked Snake more than they do with the actor from Japan. I want to get his name just so that I can quote him better, but it's frustrating. Akio Atsuka, who is the Japanese voice actor for Solid Snake and Naked Snake, it's frustrating. Like, in my opinion, man, I would be like, hey, man, listen, this time we're going to go a different direction. you've been the voice of Metal Gear, but I have to let you go this time, Like, it happens all the time in business. It happens all the time in Hollywood.
Right. You don't owe them that much.
Right, exactly.
But I mean, at least be professional about it and don't burn bridges.
Don't burn the bridges. Because why? They asked him the question, would you ever work with Kojima again and stuff? And he flat out said no. He said he has no relationship with Hideo Kojima.
Actually, he said it more like this. He said, I have no love.
Right, yes. For Kojima. I have no love for Kojima, yeah.
But you know what? He would work for Konami.
He would.
And he said, I hope, heck, I'll work with them. I'll do the next game with them.
That
says volumes, though.
That does speak a lot of volumes.
That means that I don't want us to sound like we're like really siding with Konami in terms of like being fanboys in that sense.
No, of course. I
don't want
that
be extreme fair. To happen. But I'm trying. We're looking at this from a really what's the word? Objective perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, if you're willing to work for a company again, even though you were let go, essentially, that means that company treated you well.
Yeah.
That they, it's like, for instance, you have a job and you need some time away, right? Let's say a couple of months, and you come back and ask for that same job. If they give you the job, it's because they enjoyed the way you worked.
Yeah. Okay.
They enjoyed the way you worked.
Okay.
Right? So in this sense, it's like he wants to work for the company again, but not for the producer who made Metal Gear.
Right. Makes sense.
That says a lot. So it's just like, our question to you is now that we've said this interview, we've laid out these points. You can check. I think if you can put the link for the interview.
Yeah, I'll put it in the show notes. Yeah,
I guess check it out for yourselves. Give your own opinion about this in UCB podcast, and let us know what you think. Follow us on Twitter, and we look forward to hearing from you.
For sure. Look, I just want to say that it's been a great ride and stuff, and my opinions already on Kiefer Sutherland and how he did in Metal Gear Solid 5. He sucks. So I just want to say that David Hayter
didn't do that bad. I'm just saying it because you said he sucks, like, under your voice. He didn't do that bad.
Okay, that's your opinion, but
that's your opinion.
Yeah, you're right. All right. So if Kojima were to ever work with any actor or whatever and stuff, American actor at least, he should really look into how he treats the people that work for him, because honestly, David Hayter has been so influential in the Metal Gear series. Like, they've been so, people have been so nostalgic with him. Like, man, like, oh, David Hayter's in this. Oh yeah, I love him, Snake. And he's actually been, he acted in Metal Gear Solid 4, like, he's been there. You didn't see the Japanese actor in there in that game. You didn't see him. You saw David Hayter.
Well, I mean, they were all the American actors. To be fair,
you're right. To be fair,
I'm telling you, war has changed.
like
I love that commercial, man.
It was amazing. It was
to Michael. To Michael.
Is it Michael? Yeah. No, that was the PlayStation commercial.
Isn't that what we're talking about?
We're talking about Metal Gear Solid 4, dude.
But are you saying his portrayal as Snake in the commercial?
No, man. In Metal Gear Solid 4, they were interviewing David Hayter. Remember the beginning of the game?
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
Let your dreams find you.
And he's like, what does that mean?
No, he was like, I never actually said that.
He's like, words from David Hayter. And like, it wasn't the Japanese voice actor. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, hey, show some respect. Anyway, we have to wrap it up now, but I just want to say, listen to the podcast. It's very well made. Metal Gear Solid 1 has been the influential game for a lot of games. You could see a lot of directors and producers say, we relate to Metal Gear Solid 1 when we do our voice acting and stuff, so listen to it for yourself. With that being said, it's trivia time.